broaden your knowledge of drumming. Don't just stick to the easy things. And so when you are playing a groove, you're putting paradiddles in. If you never practice diddles, you play everything singles, you'll never be able to expand because you won't have that in your head, your book of knowledge.
I'm just looking for some touch. I've been good. Dallas, Texas, Hollywood. I ain't asking for much. I said, Lord, take me downtown. I'm just looking for some touch. Take me back, way back home. Not by myself, not alone. I ain't asking for much. I said, Lord, take me downtown. I'm just looking for some touch.
Just hit the mic.
Well done, ladies and gentlemen. Mrs. Dorothea Taylor in the house at Drumeo. How are you doing?
Great. Having
Yeah?
a good time.
Good. I'm so glad you came out.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Dorothea before, you got to go and find her on Instagram, Taylor.Dorothea.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Go and give her an ad right now. You got 80,000 Instagram followers. It's crazy.
Crazy.
Absolutely.
It really is.
Yeah. So you've been drumming your whole life. Tell us a little
Basically.
bit, before we get into everything, tell us, how'd you get started?
Okay. Well, I just had music in my blood, for one.
Yeah.
And my mom said that she bought me a little piano when I was like 3, and I couldn't make it play what I wanted to play.
Yeah.
And so I would cry because I was in the music. I knew what I wanted to do. So then I started piano lessons in 3rd grade and did that until 8th grade. But I wanted to be a drummer.
Yeah.
But back then, people did not play the drums. Or females did not play
Right.
the drums.
Right.
So by 8th grade, I couldn't stand it any longer.
Good.
Because we were lucky enough to have a drum and bugle corps in my hometown in Michigan, Upper Michigan. Yay, Upper Michigan. And I would see them march all summer long, and we had competitions and things, and I would go to them, and I said, I want to do that.
Right.
So I didn't care what my girlfriend said. I was just over it. I said, I'm just doing it. I don't care.
Dove in head
And I
first.
dove in, and within 3 months of practicing, I made first snare
You're kidding.
in 3 months.
And were you the
Because-
first female drummer in that drum and bugle corps?
I was, but I wasn't actually the first. There was 2 of us.
Right.
2 of us girls. When I got there to try out, she had already been in for a little bit, like a few months. And we marched and stuck by each other's side for the 6 years. I was in drum corps for 6 years.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And you've been playing since then. You say you're, well, what are some of your influences? You were telling me some of the bands you listen to and what
Yeah.
you, tell us a little bit about that.
I loved Cream, The Doors, Led Zeppelin, Iron Butterfly. Have you ever heard of Iron Butterfly?
No.
So I had all those albums. My father finally bought me a drum set when I was a junior in high school.
Yeah.
So I was 16 and started playing. We had the old record players
Yeah,
with
yeah.
a little speaker, and I'd turn it up as loud as I could, but
You play along to it.
I would play along to it, but we didn't have headphones back then.
Yeah.
This is a long time ago that I did this. A long time ago. And I would just copy them, what they would do.
Good for you. And you're still playing in bands now? You
Yep.
actually had to say no to a show because you were coming to Drumeo.
Yes.
Cover bands type of thing? Original
Yep.
music?
We do. No, not originals.
Just cover music.
Cover. Classic rock.
Yeah, I love it. We've been following you for quite a while on Instagram, and I've wanted to have you out for a while, so I'm glad we could make it work. So let's get into it. Why are paradiddles so important?
To me, paradiddle is the foundation of drumming, really. We talked about singles and doubles. Paradiddle is just a combination of both. Paradiddles, two singles, and a double. But what I've brought here today is different ways to play paradiddles.
Yeah.
So once you practice the basic paradiddle, do not get bored with these because there's so many fun things that you can do with them by changing them around and changing the accent around.
Yeah, there's so many paradiddle lessons.
Yes.
You know? But you think about, like, we have some of the best drummers come into Drumeo all the time, and they're practicing their paradiddles to this day, singles and doubles. That's it. That's the most important one. So you're going to show us a couple of permutations and some accent exercises to really drive this home, and also to give us something fun to practice.
Yeah, these are fun to practice. Don't think of it as being boring. First of all, you do have to know the sticking and the ghost noting for regular paradiddle. So I'll just play regular ones at first. Make sure that the diddles are low. You don't want them to sound like... You have to play with a little finesse. Okay, so that's the basic sticking. Right, left, right. Then the first permutation would be put the diddle in the middle. I always tell the student, put the diddle in the middle. So instead of paradiddle, now we're going to do paradiddle.
Okay.
So think of it that way. Paradiddle. So that's the first permutation.
Right.
Okay.
Now, for those just listening,
Yes.
it sounds like a regular paradiddle. Do you want
It
to maybe
does.
put one hand on one of the toms and
Okay.
one on this there so we can really hear it?
Okay. So we're going to split our hands, okay? Versus. It changes it by, you're still playing 4/16 notes, but playing the different sticking changes what you're doing on the right hand. That right there was the second of the variations, paradiddle, right, left,
Paradiddle,
right. Yes. So then the third permutation is you put the diddle in the front. So it will be diddle para, diddle para. You're still playing a paradiddle. You're just starting with the diddle, but it totally changes
Let's see that
the
one.
regular feel.
Yeah.
So you have. If you have your eyes closed, yes, it still sounds like a paradiddle. Versus, but when you split your hands, here's a regular paradiddle. Here's the permutation. So it just changes the whole sound in my ears anyway. I
Totally.
can definitely hear the difference.
Well, it's not a pattern that most drummers are used to. And this is the thing. I practiced paradiddles until I was blue in the face, but it was mainly the first inversion, the main
Right.
right, left, right, right.
Right.
You know, a lot of drummers ignore the other three. You know,
Yeah.
and the other three are sometimes the funkiest ones.
Yes.
Can you show us number 3, the third paradiddle variation, but on the tom and the snare?
Okay. The one I just did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The tom and the snare. Okay. And then the final one is right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right. So it sounds and feels like singles, but yet when you get to the end of it, right, left, then you have to start with another left, right. So there is a diddle in the middle there.
Okay.
Right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right. So those are the different variations, the permutations of regular paradiddles.
Show us number 4, split between the tom and the snare.
Okay. So it makes a really cool groove on the kit.
That's the toughest one because you're playing an
It is.
inverted double at the end, or that accent
Exactly.
on the last.
Yep, you're going. So it's a whipping. Your molar technique going.
Ah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So each one of those sounded so different.
Even though you're still playing 4/16ths,
Right,
they
right.
sound different.
Now, obviously get those down first,
Right.
because the next step is adding accents. But before we do that, maybe show us some of these paradiddle variations around the kit, because you could do a lot with these.
Yes,
Yeah.
just the basic ones that I've already done.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
All right. We'll trade sticks. So it's just mixing the 4 different variations.
No kidding. No kidding. So what's the next step here?
So we go back to the very first paradiddle, paradiddle. But now we're going to put the accent over one of the partials. So it will be paradiddle, paradiddle. Instead of just learning boring, now we will be doing. So you have the bass drum on the first partial and then the accent. So that's moving it over one.
Right.
Then you move it over again. Paradiddle. You can use this as a train beat. Everyone does the singles for train beat. But why not play paradiddles and do the accent moving it over? Makes it more exciting. When
Yeah.
I play a train beat in whatever band I might be doing, I'll do the paradiddles instead of singles.
No kidding.
It makes it fun.
Brilliant. Never
Yeah.
thought of that. Yeah, yeah.
And then you have one more partial to move it over. Put it wherever you want to.
Right,
you know.
right.
So that's the very first group. And now we're going to do that with all the other groups.
Okay.
So the first permutation was right, left, left, right, right, left. So now we're going to move the accent over. Paradiddle, paradiddle, Then move it over one more time. Around your toms
Let's
also.
hear, so you
Yeah.
moved around the toms.
Yeah. So.
And then the last, was that the last? Yeah, that was the last.
Yeah, that was the last one. Put your bass drum in your hi-hats and you can mix them around. Put them on your ride cymbal, crash cymbals, wherever.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All right.
So then we're going to move to the next permutation, which was the diddle in the beginning. Diddle, pair, diddle, pair, Now move the accent. So. Got that whipping stroke again.
Yeah.
And then, where were we? Which one were we at?
The second accent.
Second, so now the third one. You can use that as the train one also. But it's actually, you can really feel the paradiddle come out on that one. The diddle. So they kind of come around and turn back into themselves again.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, it's good to know where one is.
Yes.
So practices with a click, or what you're doing there, putting the bass drum on to create your own click. Mm-hmm. That sparks a lot of creativity too, and just what I always used to do is just put two different sources. So I would just move to the tom, and all of a sudden all these ideas start coming.
Right, because
Right?
you can hear the differences, and then you can go from there.
So do that exact one you just did, the third permutation of the paradiddle on the accent on the and just go from one tom on the left hand or right hand, and then the snare on the right.
Okay, I was on the third accent.
If you played that groove to someone, a drummer, and say, "Hey, what is this pattern?" I bet you they would take a lot of time figuring it out, maybe writing it down. But if you told them it's just an inversion of a paradiddle, you get it right away.
Right.
They don't sound like paradiddles. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very cool. Last accent.
Yeah.
On the third.
So it's pair, diddle, pair, diddle, pair, It sounds just like it's coming back around to regular paradiddles, but if you put the bass drum in with it.
I like that one.
Yeah.
That would sound good, like a nice song ender, building like a trash can ending or something going on there.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the
Okay,
next?
so now we're into the fourth one, permutation. These are the ones that are sort of like singles. Then turn around and do another one on the other hand. So that's the regular one. Then move the accent over. And then move it over again.
Love it. Love it.
And you just keep doing this. You just get the sheet, sit down, take one exercise at a time. Mm-hmm. If it takes a week, with that one section. So broaden your knowledge of drumming. Don't just stick to the easy things. Broaden your knowledge And so when you are playing a groove, you're putting paradiddles in.
Yeah. Well, you know,
You can put them in between your feet and your hands, and
yeah. Well, the thing is, like, the train groove. That's a great example. Like, I always go to singles because I know it. It's easy. Mm-hmm. But if you challenge yourself by doing a paradiddle groove, or even one of the variations, as long as you throw on that accent in the middle there,
Right.
it would sound great. And then you're challenging yourself to make it sound like a normal single-stroke train beat.
Right.
But you're developing these chops, so then when you want to move it around the kit,
yes,
it comes to you like that.
right.
I love it.
If you never practice diddles and you play everything singles,
Yeah.
you'll never be able to expand because
Right.
you won't have that in your head, your book of knowledge.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think like I said, we have plenty of like paradiddle beats and paradiddle between limbs and all that. But I think the most important thing here is why you should be practicing them. And
Yes.
you, as a drumline player, but also a drumline teacher and a drum kit player, you still practice them to this day. It's something you don't forget. And I love also how you talk about them as paradiddles and diddle para and
Yeah, paradiddle.
radiddle pa. I remember talking to you about right, left, right, left, right, left. You don't use those. Why is that the case?
Well, just as an example, when I get on Instagram, I do that a lot. When I see somebody play something blazing fast, and then they'll say it is. Then they say right, left, kick, left, right, kick, right. When you could just go ahead and explain that it was a double paradiddle or a triple paradiddle or a 6-stroke roll, because it's confusing trying to remember the right and the left here, a kick there. But if you go to your rudiment sheet and say, oh, that was a double paradiddle he was doing, double paradiddle is paradiddle, then you automatically know that is right, left, right, left, right, right.
Right. Or correct.
Correct.
Correct. Wouldn't it be nice if we can assume all drummers do their 40 rudiments? Then we wouldn't
my
have
gosh.
to worry about all this right, lefts, and lefts, right. And you're just like, hey,
If you go to my Instagram page, you'll see how I add pataflaw-flaws to the kit and,
it's incredible.
just all kinds of rudiments. But I put them on the kit, and it just makes it fun. It makes it, you don't want to play everything. You want to be able to play. I'm just alternating paradiddles in there.
Yeah.
It just makes it more exciting.
Absolutely. So start with the permutations. Learn the different permutations first. And that's the one I think that I would even just say ignore the first paradiddle. You guys have probably played it enough anyway.
Yeah.
Focus on the other three.
Yeah. Start with the little bit more of a challenge.
Yeah, and then go to the accent exercises.
Yes.
For those who aren't super familiar with all the accent or with all the stickings, we do have the sheet music here you can download, and you can see what each note should be and everything like that. You can also use our practice player inside a Drumeo, and you can switch the tempos to whatever you want every day, bump it up by 1 BPM if you want, but really try to get these down. Really important.
Make a chart
Yeah.
and compare your practice. See
So-
if you're really doing it.
See if it's actually retaining that knowledge and,
Right.
and building it up. I got one other question for you. You did a quick little lesson for us before. I want you to do it again here just on the live lesson, talking about your doubles approach, because with some of these accents, when you're doing the second accent, you
Yeah.
have incredible technique with that. Do you want to show us a tip or something that drummers can do to help develop your doubles with your wrists?
Yeah. Instead of just playing doubles, and I notice a lot of beginners, they don't use their arms, for one. They just play. And then they don't get any faster. But if you use a flow, for one thing, that helps. But the other thing that is a really big stickler in my book is practicing them with an accent on the second partial of it. So doubles are going to be clean.
Yeah.
If you play them this way,
Yeah, you can hear it right away.
yeah.
Show us the wrist exercise, because you did this for me before the lesson, and I was talking to Taylor. I'm like, man, she's got faster doubles on her wrists than I do when I have sticks.
I'm going to turn the snares off and
Sure.
just do it here.
Yeah.
So do it with your hands. If you're in line at the grocery store and you're just standing in line, you've got legs and hands.
Yeah.
Because if you can play it with your hands on the kitchen counter when you're waiting for the eggs to boil, work on your doubles like that. Don't wait and say, oh, I can't. I got to get upstairs where my practice pad is and my sticks. Just do it. Work your hands.
100%. And then when you finally get to the kit, you've already practiced your doubles.
Right.
There you
Yep.
go. How much
Yep.
is your double technique? How much is it your wrists compared to your fingers?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe half and half.
Sorry, I put you on the spot.
Yeah,
there. Half and
maybe.
half. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Maybe
Yeah.
half and half.
Yeah.
Wrists but there's a lot of stroking, and
Yeah.
then my fingers, it's like a down up.
Yeah.
So you got that going on.
Yeah.
Down up, down up, down up.
Love it. So before we wrap this up, tips for beginners out there, tips for the intermediates, and even the advanced guys are like, yeah, the paradiddles, I've done them, I've seen them, I'm done with them. What do you have to say about that?
It's a must. It just is really a must. You must work on them.
Yeah.
And have fun. Put a click on or put music on. Any kind of a track with music. Put your paradiddles with it.
Can I try that?
Yeah.
I'm going to put on a track. I'm going to pull open a Drumeo play along.
Okay.
And, oh, no, I am not, because I don't have the adapter. Taylor, can you throw on a Drumeo play along for us here, bud? And we'll just, yeah, not that one,
No,
just another
just
one.
a different one.
Any
just-
random play along.
So that
Anyone, yeah.
you're having fun, but it's not boring without music. You
Yeah.
just play along.
So they're going to pick a random
And
song.
I have no idea.
No
Yeah.
idea. There's going to be no drums behind it, but there'll be a click track there.
Yeah.
And talk us through what you're going to do. While
Well,
you do it.
While I'm doing it.
No, explain what is your approach here?
I'm just going to listen first and see what I feel. And then I might just play just regular paradiddles. And then I might throw some accents in different places.
Keeps it a lot more fun than a click
It does.
track.
Yeah. And I would be practicing while I'm doing this, but having fun because there's music in the background.
Right.
Yeah.
I like to call that an interactive click track.
Yeah.
One that's not just
Yeah.
blasting your...
Chick, chick. Yeah. Let's see
do
what it is.
Yeah.
Paradiddles.
Well done. All paradiddles. Crazy. And you've never heard that song. I didn't
No.
even know what one they were going to choose there.
No,
Very
just
cool.
paradiddles
Yeah.
with the different accents. So it's fun.
Yeah, no kidding.
So then I was just trying to think ahead, you know, what variation I can do, what permutation I can do.
And when you nail one that just fits the song so well,
Yeah,
then you've got another chop
right.
in your tool belt that you
Yep.
can whip out. I love it. Very cool stuff. Well, thank you so much for sharing this.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, any last minute tips for the drummers out there? Anything you want to say to the community? The 80,000 followers you have on Instagram?
Follow me more.
More people follow you.
Follow Drumeo because they just have the most wonderful instructors and classes and guest
Well,
artists.
thank you. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Well, Jared, myself, Brandon, Taylor, Tyson, Kyle, we're all scouring the internet and trying to find these great influencers and these great drummers and these great performers and educators to come out and share with the world, right? We want to give you that platform. So I'm glad you came out here.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah. Taylor.Dorothea on Instagram. Give her a follow.
Please.
And check out her videos. You got some pretty creative ones. There's a one really cool video at the very bottom of your YouTube page where it's you and 3 other friends of yours doing an etude.
My sister.
Your sister.
One is my sister.
On a picnic table, and it's really, really cool. So you're going to be doing a couple more lessons for the Drumeo members inside. If you like what you see here and you want to see more of Dorothea outside of her Instagram page, come to drumeo.com/trial. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook or anywhere else, and give us a try. We have tons of great content in there, and we're going to film a lot more with her. We actually just filmed a course on drumline exercises for better stick control.
Right.
And it was really cool. There's a really cool timing exercise in there as well.
Very important timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not enough of that, I don't think, out there. Rather than just practice with the metronome. This is pretty cool stuff. So head on over to drumeo.com/trial if you want to check it out. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. We're going to leave you with you playing us a track.
Oh, gosh.
This is a Drumeo play-along called Purple Rain. You only heard it like 3 or 4 days ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, why don't you go on Drumeo and find a song? So have fun with this. Enjoy.
Okay.
I'm going to go
Try.
out there and listen from the other side, but I'll see you guys all later. Thanks for joining us. Cheers.